So I felt like I should do this video for a couple of reasons, but you know me, the person with the ever controversial opinions about my life and how I live my life. I don't try to enforce my beliefs or what I think about on anybody. Do you find out what works for you and run with that shit? Win the race with that shit, please. But I wanted to do this video because right now, single people, we at this weird impasse. And the reason I call it a weird impasse is because it's like men are waiting on women to prove themselves worthy of being provided for, and women, we waiting to see if this is the guy who can lead us or it's the guy that we should give our nurturing nature to, basically. um Ain't nobody winning. It's assumed that I have all these super strong feelings about men and all this. I love men. Ask anybody who know me in real life. I love men. I love masculinity. I love to see a man in a dirty ass mechanic uniform. I love to see a man changing a tire. I love to see a man putting up walls. All that kind of shit. Fuck a male exotic dancer. Give me a man that's hard at work. And I'm like, ooh, ooh. But I say that to get back to the point of the video is that we have got to this real weird space of trying to place a value on what people bring to relationships, and we losing. At the end of the day, I'm not going to audition to be in no man life. I'm not going to try to court a man in hopes that he picks me over the other women in his life that are going above and beyond. Because not for nothing, if you have a woman in your life that's going above and beyond to impress you and to show you that she who you need to be with, pick her. Pick that lady. Pick that lady. She deserves you. But don't that shit sound weird as hell? Of course, it wouldn't sound weird to the men because they reap the benefits of the emotional labor that women put in pursuit of them. We got we are, the older we get. I'm 36. The older we get, we understand that it's more of a filtration process, and I feel like who has benefited from that process is men. Men benefit from the fact that they know that as women get older, we have we have a smaller, less quality dating pool as women. So it's kind of like men are like, shit, I'm a good dude. I can provide for myself. I can do all these things. So it's really they feel they have that home court advantage. Excuse me. But it's like you can't put a value or specifics on what a good woman can bring to your life. It's just not even possible. I will tell anybody, I'm not never going to meet a man and say, I'm a good woman, you need to be with me. I do this, I do this. I'm not going to tell you nothing about me in terms of what I can contribute to your life because, frankly, if we're getting to know each other, I don't know what I can contribute to your life. I don't have any clue of what you might need from me in a relationship. I don't want to go into a situation, I could be your everything. I could do this. Sir, I cannot be your everything because I'm not expecting you to be my everything. I'm not going to try to be your everything. I want to meet you as the human that you are content and happy with being in this existence. And you meet me as the human I'm happy and content with in this existence. And when we get together, the shit is amazing. That's what I desire. I don't need anyone to bring any missing piece to me. There will never be a point in time that a healthy relationship can withstand if the two people involved are seeking what the person brings to complete them. Healthy relationships are two complete people. Two complete people. That means they are comprised of two people who have done the healing work, who have let go of the baggage that they might have brought with them, who are really seeking to be good humans, not good partners, spouses, companions. And that's where we get the shit all fucked up at. Like, it's just kind of funny to me because it's like, I meet somebody and number one, it's already perceived that I'm in the red because I'm single at my age. So I meet somebody and I'm supposed to begin this intensive I don't even know how to describe it. This just intensive process of courting this person. I don't think courting should be intensive. I don't think it should even be difficult. I think you meet somebody. This is how simple in my mind I would think it should be. You meet somebody, the vibe is cool. Y'all spend more time around each other, so y'all slowly but surely get to know each other. And it's a natural, organic progression of things, as opposed to the interview aspect of it, the resume submitting and the interview aspect of it. Now, I think when situations get serious, then logistics definitely have to be ironed out, especially if you're talking about bringing children into the world or marriage. Those are serious things, especially if you plan on merging assets. That's very serious. That's a business. That is a business structure. So be mindful of that if you're going to do that. But if we're strictly rocking off love, then I think that if we're going to stay in an emotional place, we need to let it be more organic. Now, marriage and children, those are things that are low on emotion. Those are things that, don't get me wrong, love your children, but going into those situations with feelings, I feel like it's a recipe for disaster, and I don't think it's something that you should do. But I digress. That's my life, how I feel. No knock to anyone. Do you? But in terms of these situations where people get into them and you're looking for the person to complete you, and it really becomes this whole toxic binding of two people. And I don't understand how you can get in a relationship and not be happy. If a situation is not fun anymore, you leave. But we get so wrapped up in the investment of it. The investment becomes the expense of your sanity, your well-being, your happiness, your joy, things like that. So it's like, if I have the potential of entering into a situation and I know that I still have some work to do with me, and I'd rather distract myself from my internal assignment and go and pick up on somebody where I could be distracted with the shit that they need to fix, what's the quality of the situation you think that's going to be? Sound like some bullshit to me, because it probably is some bullshit. But it's like, it's so many people, especially amongst my peer group, that we want to be so distracted because we don't want to go into those dark corners of our brain, and we don't want to go into those traumas that we might have experienced when we were young. We don't even want to face those things that made us feel less than or not worthy or not deserving. We don't want to face them. So what we do is we occupy ourselves with a whole bunch of people, other broken people. Broken people attract broken people. I don't know if people realize that. And it's like, that's why I'm so cool with being single. I'm cool with being single because everybody now is seeking those relationships where a person needs a person. That's scary as hell. you literally walk around this place needing someone outside of yourself. I would be terrified to think that I needed a person in terms of a romantic interaction. Um, that's relinquishing a lot of power. And it's also saying that I can't do what I need to do for me alone. When we can. We really, really can. It's like we a lot of women today, we really fell for the okie doke. It's considered an insult if a man say, you're going to end up by yourself. Yo, my single life is pretty awesome. And if it's something I need outside of myself, listen, I can accommodate that if that's necessary. But not for nothing, once you become obsessed with bettering yourself, sex becomes so very low that it's cool, it's fun, I enjoy it, I'm kind of sexual, but it doesn't become, I need a warm body in my bed. It just doesn't become that. My goal is reading, making sure I'm good, making sure I'm a good person so that I can attract a good person. I know it's still a lot of aspects of me that are broken, and I can admit that. But I don't want no broken person laying up with my broken ass. A whole bunch of shattered fucking pieces. Yeah, we gonna be happy. No, don't do that. You just don't want to do those kind of things. But I feel like if the only expense that a person can hit me with being single is that my independence has a price, show me the tag, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it. I will pay for it. As humans, we flourish with companionship, but we don't need anyone. Companionship is an awesome situation, but we don't need anyone. And as long as we go forth in terms of need and who's worth more in a relationship, we're going to be fucked up out here. And that's just the truth. I just need us all to understand that all single people, please, single people, us single people who have these same situations and these same circumstances, not you married people, not you long-term relationship people, please, we talking single business over here. But I just need single people to understand that those times in between relationships are best used bettering yourself, because you can attract a better type of person. When relationships don't work out, it's okay. It's okay. Life goes on. It doesn't have to be a devastation, even when love was involved. Ladies, independence is okay. Independence is okay, especially when the circumstances of your life bring forth independence. Not because you just setting out like, oh, I don't need no man, yada, 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 yada. I mean, I respect those women too. I don't personally feel like at this moment in my life, need is what I would describe. Companionship is cool. I have an appreciation for it, but I don't need a man right now. I don't need a man right now. And I think that concept is what keeps a lot of women in bad spots. When we allow ourselves to be hypnotized into thinking that we need another human, we gonna be bad. It's gonna be a bad, sad state of affairs, because humans are flawed. We're all flawed. So to hinge an existence on something that's already starting off flawed, yikes. That's just a level of disappointment that's kind of scary. But the reason I felt the need to make this video is because single is not terrible. It's only terrible when you don't use the single time to better yourself. Being single should be a time of self-awareness and gathering a self-understanding. It shouldn't be spent waiting on the next relationship. That's a recipe for disaster. In every single relationship, you're supposed to become a better person. And if you're not becoming a better person, A, you're in the wrong relationships, and B, you're not spending your time better. We are all supposed to want to be better people. I don't want to be the same I was last year or the year before that. Every day I'm trying to evolve into my best self. And that's what you have the obligation to do to yourself. Before you can jump in any kind of relationship or any kind of companionship or any situation like that, you owe it to yourself to be better. And you should want to be better. And don't allow anybody to tell you that because you are single, that you're paying a price or you're being punished for not being chosen or not being desirable. Single life is pretty lit. And if you live like my kind of single life, which is like, I'm single, but I have access like all women do. So it's like, what if you could be single and, do your own thing? Because you can't do your own thing. Why would you want to attach yourself to a situation that's not the best for you out of fear that someone will call you on it and say, oh, that's why you're single and yeah. Yo, my single life is kind of lit. I can't even lie. And I'm like, all right with it right now. But when I'm not all right with it right now, I'll make sure that I'm in a position to prefer and command a good guy. I can do that. You can do that. You can hold off until a person is who you want. You can have everything you want in a relationship. You can definitely have everything you want in a relationship. And you can have deal breakers. Ain't nothing's wrong with that. Why deal with somebody that's full of your deal breakers so you can be unhappy to say you got a man? Why? So I wouldn't do it. So, to sum up this video, being single can be fun if you make it fun. But you also have to make it worthwhile. You have to do the work. You have to make sure that you're becoming the type of human that you would want to be around. You have to enjoy being around yourself before you can invite anybody that you would enjoy being around. And if their only insult for you is that you're single, it's not a bad thing. But be single and happy. Just like if you're in a relationship, be happy.